Hey guys, this is Kieran from MSK Physio. Today's exercise is about a little more end-stage rehab for some of those hip external rotators. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next part of the video, but the thing is if you're trying to progress strength in this area, then this is a good exercise for you. So when we look at exercises for these muscles out here, a lot of them are biased towards bringing the knee out, creating external rotation. And that is a job that these muscles do, but the fixation point is different when we're walking. And that fixation point is that our foot becomes fixed to the ground. If your foot is not fixed to the ground and you're going through swing phase, that's when you're going to demonstrate a little bit of that external rotation, where you go into a short position in these muscles. But where a lot of people don't quite get into the training aspect of them is in their long position. Can they eccentrically take your body weight? And that happens when we're landing on our foot. So if I land like this, my hip has to go into some internal rotation, adduction, and flexion. That's the longest position for the glute max, which means that it's on stretch, which means that it's slowing me down, it's decelerating me into that position, along with some other muscles, of course, as well. But if you don't train that capacity, then it's going to be a lot harder to absorb force through your hip, for example, in a single leg hop. So if I fall forward, can I get into this position? If I can't, then I can't get my mass over my foot. So what that would look like, if I can't sink into my hip, then I'm going to do something else to do it. So now my spine goes to the right. So my hip's not going right, my spine has to do it so I don't fall over. If I don't do that, then I'm going to fall to the left, which I do. So have to develop this capacity, but you have to do it in a way that strengthens the muscle at end range. So this is a really popular exercise for that. You're going to go into basically an RDL position to start. Now you might find that this is too hard to start with. You can always have the back foot on the ground for a little bit of help, but what you're trying to think about is being as tall or as long as possible, okay? So try not to sink too far forward with the head. Try not to flex through the spine. It's not that those are bad things. We're just trying to make all the movement happen at the hip and not in other areas. So if I create that sort of straight tall position, hinge at the hip, hands on the hips, just at first so you can feel what's happening. And then you're going to start to rotate like this. And what that looks like from the front, same thing, I'm nice and tall and I'm rotating this way. And so as I go down with this left pocket towards the ground, these muscles are having to lengthen and they're getting asked eccentrically low. They're creating tension, they're holding my body weight as I lower down. As I come back up, they're working into that shorter position. Now the added challenge is to take the leg off the ground. That's going to add a lot more balance into the exercise, but it's also going to be a little more applicable to life, which is us landing on one leg, particularly with running. So the higher the difficulty, it's basically the higher this back leg comes while being able to stay nice and straight. And so I'm working through here, trying to keep that leg nice and tall. So I'm trying to touch that wall behind me and the sky, and I'm going to go through these same ranges. And you can see it's a little bit harder for me to talk, just because I have to concentrate a little bit more on what I'm doing, which just makes that multitasking element all that more obvious. If I show you from the front, let's give the leg a rest and go to the other side. So I'm in here. Can I drop my right pocket towards the ground? Something I like to do is look forward, have my eyes fixated on something. Gives me a reference point. If you find that you're getting a little bit sloppy, if you watch yourself in the mirror and you're starting to do this kind of stuff, get that leg higher and further back. It's going to create a reflexive tension in your torso and your spinal erector muscles, and it's going to make them engage and create a little more stability through your torso. Going to feel good burn through these guys. A few sets of 8 should do the trick, and then once those are easier, then you can start getting into some step-up variations. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.